Hello everyone, welcome back to Electrical Pathshala 2. In our previous video, we studied about mathematical modeling of mechanical systems and how to write mathematical models for mechanical systems using D'Alembert law. So if you haven't watched that video, I will suggest you to watch it before starting this one. Moving on, in this video, we are going to study about analogous systems. So what are analogous systems? The systems which can be represented by same types of differential equations are called as analogous systems. For example, suppose there are two systems and if the differential equation model of those two systems are exactly same means the formation of their differential equation will be exactly same. Yes, the terms will be different and those terms are known as analogous terms. So the terms will be different but the formation of their differential equation will be exactly same. So if this is the case, then those two systems are called as the analogous systems. Now in analogous systems, a non-electrical system like mechanical system is expressed in terms of its equivalent electrical system. Why we express a non-electrical system in terms of its equivalent electrical system? Because there are some advantages of doing so and we will talk about those advantages later in this video. So we can say that the electrical equivalent systems of mechanical systems are called as analogous systems. Yes, it is possible to draw an electrical system which will behave exactly similar to the given mechanical system, and that is called as the electrical analogous of the given mechanical system. So from here we can say that analogous systems behave in a similar manner, which is an advantage. This brings us to our next topic, that is advantages of analogous systems. So it is always advantageous to convert a non-electrical system like mechanical system in its analogous electrical network. And some of the advantages are, first of all, it is easier to study and analyze the electrical system as compared to a non-electrical system. Second is that all the techniques of electrical circuit theory such as network theorems can be applied in the analysis of the given non-electrical systems. Hence, in this way, by applying the network theorems of electrical system, we can study and analyze the given mechanical system without even actually analyzing it, because in reality we are actually analyzing the electrical system. But as both the systems are analogous to each other, therefore by analyzing the electrical system we can also comment on the behavior of the mechanical system. Third advantage is that electrical components can be changed easily by connecting and disconnecting them in the circuit. This helps in model construction and testing. It is easier to change the components of an electrical system as compared to changing the components of a given mechanical system. So if there is a need to study and analyze a given mechanical system by changing some of its component, then this will be done by changing the components of its analogous electrical network, because we know that electrical components can be changed easily by simply connecting and disconnecting them into the circuit. And this is very useful in model construction and testing. Fourth advantage is that once the circuit diagram of the analogous electrical system is determined, it is possible to visualize and even predict the behavior of the given mechanical system. And we can also determine the parameters of mechanical systems such as resonance, passband, damping coefficient, time constants, etc. Fifth advantage is that if analogous terms are known, then equation of one system can easily be converted into other system. Why? Because the differential equation of analogous systems are of same type. Therefore, if the analogous terms are known, then we can easily convert the differential equation of one system into another system by simply substituting the analogous terms with one another. For example, mechanical translational system and mechanical rotational systems are analogous to each other and their analogous terms are shown in this table. Here you can see that force of mechanical translational system is analogous to torque of mechanical rotational system. Similarly, mass is analogous to moment of inertia, acceleration A is analogous to angular acceleration alpha, velocity V is analogous to angular velocity omega, displacement x is analogous to angular displacement theta, damping constant B is analogous to torsional damping constant B, and spring constant K is analogous to torsional spring constant K. So these are the differential equation models of mechanical translational and rotational system respectively. Here we can see that these differential equations are of exactly same type. Yes, that analogous terms are different, but the formation of these differential equations are exactly same. So if the analogous terms are known, then we can easily convert differential equation of one system into another system by simply substituting these analogous terms with one another. Now while solving the problems of analogous systems, we are asked to obtain and draw analogous electrical networks of these mechanical systems, and for that we have some methods. Which brings us to our next topic, which is methods of obtaining analogous electrical network. Remember that in mechanical system we have force and torque, and in electrical system we have voltage and current. So when force and torque of mechanical system is assumed to be analogous with voltage, then we get our force voltage analogy and torque voltage analogy. Similarly, When force and torque of mechanical systems is assumed to be analogous with current of electrical system, then we get our force current analogy and torque current analogy. Now to write this analogy, we have to establish analogous term between this mechanical and electrical system. And for that, we have to write differential equation models of these systems. So let's start. First of all, we will talk about mechanical translational system, which you can see here in this diagram. Suppose there is a body of mass m which is placed on a surface, and there is some friction between the body and the surface, and this friction is shown here by this damper element having a friction constant or damping constant B. The stiffness of this body is shown by this spring element having a spring constant K. Now when an external force F is applied on this body, then it will produce some acceleration A. Also there will be three resisting forces, F1 due to the mass of the body, F2 due to the friction between the body and the surface, and F3 due to the stiffness of this body. And these three resisting forces will act in the opposite direction of the externally applied force. Now let's write these resisting forces. So first of all, F1, which is due to the mass of the body, is given by F1 is equals to m into A, or m into dV over dt, or m into d2x over dt2. Similarly, F2, which is due to the friction, is given by F2 is equals to B into V, or B into dx over dt. And F3, which is due to the stiffness of this body, is given by F3 is equals to K into integral V dt, or K into x. So these are the three resisting forces. Now according to D'Ambert's principle, the algebraic sum of externally applied forces and the resisting forces on a given body is always zero, or we can also say that the externally applied force is always equal to the resisting forces. Therefore we can write F is equals to F1 plus F2 plus F3, or we can also write it as F is equals to m into dV over dt plus B into V plus K into integral V dt in terms of velocity. And we can also write it as F is equals to m into d2x over dt2 plus B into dx over dt plus K into x in terms of displacement. So this equation is important for us, and this is our equation number 1. This is the differential equation model of mechanical translational system. Now let's talk about mechanical rotational system, which is shown here in this diagram. Suppose there is a body having moment of inertia J, which is placed on a surface, and there is some friction between the body and the surface. This B here is the torsional damping constant or torsional friction constant, and this body will have some stiffness, and that stiffness is shown by this torsional spring constant K. Now when an external torque T is applied on this body, then there will be three resisting torques. T1, which will be due to the inertia of the body, T2, which will be due to the friction between the body and the surface, and T3 due to the stiffness of this body. And these three resisting torques will act in the opposite direction of the externally applied torques. Now let's write these resisting torques. So the resisting torques are given by T1 will be given by T1 is equals to J into alpha, or J into d omega over dt, or J into d2 theta over dt2, where alpha is the angular acceleration. Resisting torque T2, which is due to the friction, will be given by T2 is equals to B into omega, or B into d theta over dt. T3, which is due to the stiffness of this body, will be given by T3 is equals to K into integral omega dt is equals to K into theta. So these are the three resisting torques. Now according to D'Ambert's principle, the algebraic sum of externally applied torque and the resisting torques on a given body is always zero, or we can also say that the externally applied torque is equals to all the resisting torques. Therefore we can write T is equals to T1 plus T2 plus T3, and this can be written as T is equals to J into d omega over dt plus B into omega plus K into integral omega dt. This is in terms of angular velocity. Now in terms of angular displacement, we can write it as T is equals to J into d2 theta over dt2 plus B into d theta over dt plus K into theta. This is in terms of angular displacement, and this equation is important for us. This is the differential equation model for mechanical rotational system, and this is our equation number 2. So our next system is electrical system with voltage source, as you can see here in this diagram. So in this diagram there is a series RLC circuit in which a resistor, an inductor and a capacitor is connected in series with a voltage source which is supplying voltage V to the network, and the current through the circuit is IT. The voltage across resistor, inductor and capacitor is V1, V2 and V3 respectively. Now you might think that why we took series RLC circuit here, why not parallel RLC circuit? Because in parallel RLC circuit the voltage across all three elements will be same, which will be V. But here in this series RLC circuit we are getting V1, V2 and V3 voltages across these elements, and that's why we can write it as V is equals to V1 plus V2 plus V3 applying KVL, which is similar to F is equals to F1 plus F2 plus F3 and T is equals to T1 plus T2 plus T3. This type of equation is important for us, and that's why we took this series RLC circuit to establish the analogous terms between mechanical and electrical system. So applying KVL here, we can write this as V is equals to V1 plus V2 plus V3, and this V can be written as V1 can be written as R into IT, V2 can be written as L into DIT over dt, and V3 can be written as 1 by C into IT dt. This is in terms of current. Now as we know that IT is given by dq over dt, which is nothing but rate of change of charge with respect to time. So we will put this value of IT into this equation. Now this V can be written as R into dq over dt plus L into d over dt, and in place of IT we will write simply dq over dt plus 1 by C, and in place of IT we will write dq over dt. So these two terms will cancel out, and finally we can write it as V is equals to R dq over dt plus L d2q over dt2 plus 1 by C into q. Now we will rearrange this. So this V can be written as L d2q over dt2 plus R into dq over dt plus 1 by C into q. So this is the equation that we got for our electrical system with a voltage source. This is the differential equation for electrical system with a voltage source, and this is our equation number 3. Now our next system is electrical system with a current source, which is shown here in this diagram. This is a parallel RLC network in which a resistor, an inductor and a capacitor is connected in parallel with a current source which is supplying current I to this network, and the voltage across these three elements are V. Now the current flowing through this resistor, the inductor and the capacitor is I1, I2 and I3 respectively. Now you might again ask the question that why we took parallel RLC network with current source. Why not series RLC circuit? Because in series RLC circuit the current flowing through all these three elements will be same, which will be I. But in parallel RLC circuit we have I1, I2 and I3, and that's why we can write it as I is equals to I1 plus I2 plus I3, which is similar to the equations that we saw earlier, like F is equals to F1 plus F2 plus F3, T is equals to T1 plus T2 plus T3. So that is important for us. So this parallel RLC network is important for us to write these analogies and to establish analogous terms between mechanical and electrical systems. So now applying KCL, we can write I is equals to I1 plus I2 plus I3, or this I can be written as V by R plus 1 by L integral V dt plus C into dV over dt. This is in terms of voltages. Now as we know that V is given by d phi over dt, which is nothing but rate of change of flux with respect to time. So we will put this value of V into the above equation, and we will get I is equals to 1 by R d phi over dt plus 1 by L into integral d phi over dt into dt plus C into d over dt multiplied by d phi over dt, and this can be rewritten as I is equals to 1 by R d phi over dt plus these two terms will be cancelled out, and this can be written as 1 by L into phi plus C into d2 phi over dt2. Now if we rearrange these terms, we can write it as I is equals to C into d2 phi over dt2 plus 1 by R into d phi over dt and plus 1 by L into phi. So this is our differential, this is the differential equation model for the electrical system with a current source, and this will be our equation number 4. Now to write these analogies and to establish analogous terms between mechanical and electrical systems, we will compare the 4 equations that we got till now. So let's first write force voltage analogy and torque voltage analogy. So in force voltage and torque voltage analogy, what happens that force or torque of mechanical system is assumed to be analogous with voltage of the electrical system. And to write force voltage and torque voltage analogy, we will compare equation number 1, 2 and 3. Now you can see here that these equations are of same type. It means that the formation of these differential equations are exactly same, and therefore by comparing these equations we can write analogous terms. For example, this F is analogous to T and V. Similarly, M is analogous to G and L. So this F is analogous to T and V. Similarly, M is analogous to J and L. B and R. So B and R. And similarly, K and 1 by C. K and 1 by C. And similarly, this displacement is analogous to this angular displacement and charge. So X is analogous to theta and Q. So these are the analogous terms that we got by comparing these equations. So on the basis of this comparison, we have prepared a table for force voltage analogy and torque voltage analogy, in which this is the column for mechanical translational system, this is for electrical system, and this is for mechanical rotational system. Here you can see that force of mechanical translational system is analogous with voltage of electrical system and torque of mechanical rotational system. Similarly, mass is analogous to inductance and moment of inertia J. Damping constant is analogous to resistance R and torsional damping constant B. Spring constant K is analogous to reciprocal of capacitance 1 by C and torsional spring constant K. Displacement X is analogous to charge and angular displacement theta, and velocity V is analogous to current and angular velocity omega. So this table is prepared on the basis of comparison of these 3 equations. This is very simple. You can prepare this by yourself. Now this table is very useful for solving questions of analogous system, and therefore you should remember this table. Now we will write force current analogy and torque current analogy. So in force current analogy and torque current analogy, what happens that force or torque of mechanical system is assumed to be analogous with current of the electrical system. And to write force current analogy and torque current analogy, we will compare equation number 1, 2 and 4. So by comparing these equations, we have again prepared a table for force current analogy and torque current analogy, in which this is the column for mechanical translational system, this is for electrical, and this is for mechanical rotational system. And here we can see that force of mechanical translational system is assumed to be analogous with current of electrical system and torque of rotational system. Similarly, mass is analogous with capacitance C and moment of inertia J. Damping constant B is analogous with reciprocal of resistance 1 by R and torsional damping constant B. Spring constant is analogous with reciprocal of inductance 1 by L and torsional spring constant K. Displacement X is analogous with flux linkage phi and angular displacement theta. Velocity V is analogous with voltage V and angular velocity omega. So this is the table for force current analogy and torque current analogy. Again, you should remember this table because this table is very useful for solving questions of analogous systems. In this video, we talked about analogous systems, advantages of analogous systems, and we also write differential equation models for mechanical, translational, rotational, and electrical systems. And we also establish analogous terms between this mechanical and electrical system. So I hope you understand everything in this video. For the written material of this topic, you can join our Telegram channel Electrical Pathshala 2, and the blog on this topic is available on our website www.electricalpathshala.com. All the links are given in description below. So that's all for this video. I will see you in the next video. Till then, signing off.